This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 286. What debts should you pay off first when you get extra money? By Taylor of PTMoney.com. And I'm your host, Dan. Happy Monday to everybody. Welcome to a brand new week of shows here at Optimal Finance Daily. And we often do Minimalist Mondays here on the show, but we're not going to do that today. Instead, we're going to hear a post from Taylor of PTMoney, who's also the creator of FinCon, which is a huge personal finance conference that is definitely worth checking out. And if you're new here or not yet on our mailing list at oldpodcast.com, make sure to sign up because we're giving away a lot of books and you also get some financial tools from us for free. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of today's show. So for now, let's jump right into things and start optimizing your life. What debts should you pay off first when you get extra money? By Taylor of PTmoney.com. Many people often struggle with coming up with a plan to get rid of their excess debts. Not having a workable plan is probably the biggest reason many people fail. But I also suspect most people never even get to the point of making a plan because they don't have the extra money. That was always a big barrier for me. That's why I think it's key to make a plan and take action when you finally do bring in some extra money. So let's say you've just come into some extra money. Maybe you got a nice bonus at work, you won the lotto, received a small inheritance, or got back a big tax refund. Now you're looking over at your excess or unwanted debts and thinking you'd like to use some of this extra money to pay off the debts. What should your plan be? How should you go about deciding what to pay off first? First of all, good for you for having the discipline to use this extra money towards debt repayment. It's often that found money like this gets used on more spending, and many people often feel the need to splurge since they've finally found some extra money. Can't say I blame them. I know the feelings of finally making some money after having gone without. You definitely want to reward yourself. But part of becoming mature financially means you're able to delay gratification and put off current wants for the sake of future needs. Okay, enough of that, on to the plan. Assuming you've already established some sort of emergency fund, here's how I'd go about deciding which debts to pay off first. 1. Make a listing of all your debts. Break out all of your statements and any old paperwork related to your debts. The point is to determine what your debts are, who you owe, and how much you owe. You might also want to pull a free credit report from annualcreditreport.com and look at all your open accounts with unpaid balances. You can get your free credit report from annualcreditreport.com once a year from each of the 3 credit reporting agencies. Once you know your debts, write them all down on a piece of paper or build a spreadsheet listing using Microsoft Excel or, my favorite, OpenOffice's Calc. 2. Focus on the unsecured debts first. Generally speaking, you'll want to focus on your unsecured debts first. These are debts like credit card debt, medical bills, personal loans, payday loans, and unsubsidized student loans. All these debts usually have high interest rates because they have no assets or security attached to them. These high interest rates are costing you a lot, and since there's no asset as a result of the debt, the loan isn't bringing you much future value. In most cases, you've borrowed to pay for something you've immediately consumed. Once you've identified what your unsecured debts are, you can then assign a priority to them, and that's what we'll do next. 3. Pick a debt paydown strategy that suits you. There are many ways to go about paying off your debt. Don't get too confused by all the methods, just pick one that seems right and just start applying it full force. Many people never get around to paying off their debts because they're overwhelmed by all the choices available to them, strategies, methods, products, etc. Here's a couple of methods that make sense to me and I've seen success with. Use the debt snowball method. This method was made famous by Dave Ramsey, and it's worked great for millions of people. This method helps you determine which debt to pay off first by having you list them in order of total balance, starting with the smallest. The reason this plan works for so many people is that you see success quickly, and that success builds upon itself like a snowball to help you motivate towards getting rid of all the debts. If this sounds like the plan for you, then I say go for it. Start out with the smallest debt first and attack it full force with your newfound money. If there's money left over, move to the second debt, and so on. Use the highest interest rate. If you're a numbers person and you strictly want to take the path of least mathematical resistance, then you need to prioritize your list of debts by interest rate on the loan. Start with the debt paying the highest interest rate because it's costing you the most money, and attack that full force until it's paid off. Then move to the second highest interest rate, and so on. I hope this summary will provide some guidance for you when you come into that big pile of money and decide to rid yourself of excess debts. Good luck! For further reading on this topic, be sure to check out How to Prioritize Your Debts for Payoff. You just listened to the post titled, What Debts Should You Pay Off First When You Get Extra Money? By Taylor of PTMoney.com. And a big thanks to Philip for letting us read from his site. It is a massive resource with incredibly great content that you should check out. And if you want to be entered into book raffles every month here at Optimal Finance Daily and also get some helpful spreadsheet tools from us to help with budgeting and that sort of thing, come by oldpodcast.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter. You can also text to get involved. Just text the word financial to the number 44222. Either way works just fine. And we have 60 books now to give away from the Minimalists. They were kind enough to donate those to our podcast network. And Leon from the Kindness Diaries series over on Netflix also donated 25 books. So we're going to be giving away a lot over the next few months, and you'll definitely want to be a part of it. So just make sure you're on our mailing list at oldpodcast.com. And I'm going to leave it there for today. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.